Well, at camp number 1, just finished a review or 2. Laid down in the hammock for a little while. Was kind of looking over some stuff, and I wanted to do another answer video to a question I get often is about my insulin, because I'm a diabetic, and they ask me, when I go out in the woods, even though I'm only gone between 3 to 5 hours, give or take, do I take my insulin with me? And yeah, all the time. All the time. And if I do, like, how do I store it? How do I carry it? What do I do in the hot, humid days and the winter time? Because I'm very active year round. Winter time, I will do a lot more hiking because I got to be moving. And things of that nature. In the summertime, because it's so hot and humid, I don't want to move around as much as far as really going hiking in long distance. And so I'll just come here. As many of you already know, I come here to the camp and just kind of hang out and do some reviews, you know. I always have my insulin everywhere I go. When I'm here, if I go to a friend's house, if I'm in the yard, this comes downstairs with me. It sits in the back of my car because we kind of hang out in the front of the house a lot. When I go camping, hiking, doing videos, visit somebody, you name it, I take this with me because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be longer than I anticipated. What if I break down, if I have to wait, or whatever. Having to deal with a high blood sugar and or low blood sugar on top of anything else you're dealing with just, well, quite frankly, sucks. It sucks. It really does. Now, what do I use? You know, I'm a big fan of VanQuest. I use their pouches for a lot of stuff, and their packs. This is a VanQuest pouch. I've had this for quite a few years. My son is also a diabetic, for those of you that don't know. He also is using, thanks to me, a black VanQuest pouch because we don't want them to get mixed up. And the little white tab on there, I have a first aid kit. I have a red tab on there. I have another kit with spare batteries, cables, things of that nature. That has a yellow tab, I believe. And this has white. So I know, because they're all the same pouch, they're all the same color. I really like tan. This is all I carry. I don't carry an ice pack. I don't carry a heated hand warmer for the winter time. And I'll tell you what I do. I've been a diabetic for 33 years. 30 years, something like that. Found out when I was 16. I'm now 48, or going to be 48. Wow, 48. Holy crap. Anyway, so this is what I do. I don't bring ice with me. I don't have anything like that. During this summertime, on a hot, humid day, obviously I keep this out of the sun, right? It will be covered. It goes in a pack. Wow. When I lose the sun, it gets really cold, which is fantastic. Anyway, this goes inside my backpack all the time. During the summertime, with the sun rays, the hot sun, it's humid, I still keep I have 1 bottle of Novolog insulin in here, and I'll show you that in a minute. It stays in here, this stays zippered, and it goes in my backpack. I've not one time in my entire life, not once have I lost an insulin bottle because of it got too hot or it froze. If your insulin freezes, it's done. It's no good anymore. At least that's what I was told. If it gets a certain temperature, it gets too hot, again, your insulin is done. It's not good anymore. Will it make you sick or kill you? I doubt it. I don't think so. I've never read that. I've never been told that. I've never experienced it myself, but I've never let a bottle get too hot. It's always room temperature or colder, and it's never frozen. Years ago, it's been a long time, when my wife and I used to go do a lot of hiking and camping. We went up to New Hampshire, up in the mountains. We did all our camping throughout the fall and winter, beginning of winter. It was cold. Quite a few times there's snow on the ground. I've never lost a bottle to the cold. What I would do then, if it's that cold, if I'm hiking and I'm doing whatever, like lately, the last few years, I leave it in here and I put it inside my pack. I put some other things around it and it's fine because it should stay room temperature or a little bit, you know, like refrigerated temperature anyway. But again, you don't want it to freeze. I would, and again, I've never lost a bottle to freezing or heat. And it stays fine. It stays in there. I don't have it exposed. I don't leave the bottle out on top of a rock in the woods or whatever in the cold or the hot sun. In the summertime, again, it's not getting direct sunlight. It stays protected, shaded inside my pack, and I've not once had a problem. Yeah, so it works. Now, I know there's all kinds of things you can get, cold packs or heating packs. I've never had to do that. There's been quite a few times in the wintertime, back in the day when my wife and I used to hike, I used to have to take the bottle out and I'd put it like in my pocket or down my pants, which, well, that's really, anyway. Yeah. Because it was that cold. Even though I was toasty, or I would bring this, or actually back in the day I used to use a different kind of pouch. I'd bring it into my sleeping bag with me. That was fine. But there were times where I had to put it down my pants to keep it nice and from freezing because it was cold. But yeah, so front pocket here. Again, this is a Vanquist pouch. I will link to this pouch in the box below. Go check them out. I really highly recommend them. I usually keep my alcohol pads in there. When you unzip it, it opens up. And this is what the inside, hopefully you can see that, will look like. I know there's not much. I've seen some people's diabetes pouches, and I don't know what they're doing. I'm not saying they're right, I'm right, they're wrong, or, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Look, I've been doing this for 30 years, give or take. I know what I'm doing. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't work for me. I know what I'll need. I know what I will not need. Now, I take a second bottle of insulin. I have one in here now. This is Novolog. This is the fast acting. I need this all the time. I take multiple shots throughout the day. I also take another bottle of insulin called Lantus. That I take one time at night before bed, and it works for 24 hours non-stop. And then this when I'm going to eat, have snacks, dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. I don't carry the Lantus. I leave that in the house because it's one less thing I need to worry about, and I don't need it. I only need it one time a day, and that's at night before I go to bed. Let's say I'm out, something happens, and I gotta spend the night, whether I want to or not. Now, if I was planning on staying out and going camping, I would take the Lantus with me, obviously. But let's say something happens, and reluctantly, I need to spend the night. I can survive without Lantus. I just take multiple shots throughout the night of this. Not once in my life have that ever happened to me. Ever. I always have syringes, 2-3 syringes, never more than that. I do also have the test strips here, the little pen to prick my finger, and there is another pouch. This is the meter to check my blood sugar. That goes right in there. I mean, it really is. I don't want everything to fall out. It's just perfect. As you can see, I mean, there's all kinds of slots I could add to it. I used to use a slightly smaller Vanquist case, but not only did I kind of really remove some things I don't need, but also I didn't need it. I took the stuff out, but I wanted a little bit bigger case because that way there's more padding around the edges if I should drop it. I've broken one bottle of insulin my entire life out of the 30+ years I've been a diabetic, and that was actually in a restroom many years ago. I needed a shot. I dropped the bottle, it hit the floor, and it popped. They popped. They just don't click break. It popped. And insulin, I don't know if you ever smelt insulin. It stinks. It smells. Not long. It like, oh my God, that's like, it won't last. But once it breaks, you smell it. It stinks. And no, it can't hurt you. One time did I break a bottle. Never had a bottle freeze. Never had a bottle heat up. This is a fantastic pouch from VanQuest. Again, I will link to the box below to this pouch and others. My first aid kit is, I have several, they're all VanQuest pouches. My son uses, he's a diabetic, unfortunately, found out when he was 2, now 6. His kit is one of the, I mean, such an amazing kit. They just, yeah, they work. That's all I can tell you. So, to that gentleman that asked me, who wants to go out, wants to experience the outdoors, hike, go camping stuff, but he has a serious problem, his concern is his diabetes. Don't worry about it. Bring your stuff with you. Take more than you think you're going to need. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And eventually, over time, you will learn what you're not going to need and what you will need. Again, am I right? Is what I'm doing right for you, for everybody? No, not at all. Works for me. All I suggest is get out there and just learn. Just practice, practice, practice. It's that way with everything as far as the outdoors are concerned. You need to get out and you have to practice. So this is what I do. I don't worry about freezing. I don't worry about heating up. It works for me. So that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Be well, stay safe. If you have any questions at all about this, diabetes, insulin, the great outdoors, just ask down below. We'll talk, all right? Bye.